In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Blackstar Silverline. This is the all-digital, I guess it's Blackstar's answer to the Boss Katana, and we're going to take a look at it right now. So I was very kindly lent this amp by the good people at Stompbox, who are based over in West London. Just for full disclosure, the owner of the shop, Richard, is a very good friend of mine, and he's very kindly agreed to lend me this amp so that I can give it a bit of a test and a run through and see what I think of it. And I'm really impressed. The range of tones that you can get out of this is just I'm blown away, and for the price tag as well, around 500 quid. I think they've got a bit of a discount going on at the moment, but I think recommended retail is about 700, but even that is dirt cheap. So one of the problems with non-valve amps is just the volume of it. So if you take a solid state amp that's say 100 watts, it's about as loud as a valve amp, which is 20 watts. So there's this kind of discrepancy. And this is something that's been fixed. So I've borrowed the 100 watt version, which is more than capable to go out and gig with. You could probably even gig with a 50, maybe even the 20. But yeah, if you're going through a PA, you can use any one of these amps because you can just have them send the signal back to your ears or to the foldbacks on the stage. I did a couple of recordings. I've recorded through some really clean tones all the way through to kind of really overdriven sounds, and this has just handled everything beautifully. It sounds fantastic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play you through a few examples from sort of clean all the way over to overdrive, and yeah, see what you think. So I have absolutely no idea how any of the digital stuff works, no clue whatsoever. I just about understand preamps and power amps. So essentially what we've got here is we've got a dial which can dial through from super clean bright tones, which are supposed to kind of emulate the, a Fender Twin, all the way through to say a stacked Marshall. And you can select different valves as well. So you can start off with say a clean tone, which is let's say a Fender. So you can change the output valves, or what they call response, from like an EL84 all the way up to say a 6L6, and kind of there's like 6 different ones that you can choose from. So you can kind of mix and match what kind of amp you want with your power amp, and a 4-band EQ, bass, middle, treble, and something they call ISF, infinite shape feature, which you can kind of mix, you can kind of shape it a little bit to go from that kind of American sound to the British sound just by rotating the knob. You've also got built-in effects. Now the effects aren't groundbreaking, they're kind of good enough. You've got modulation, you've got delay, and you've got reverb, and you've got 4 different types of each. Phaser, tremolo, chorus, flanger, I think that was the other one. And reverbs, you've just got the usual kind of plate reverb, hall reverb, room reverb, spring reverb, that's the other one. And then for the delays, you've got linear, analog, tape, and multi. I've only just got this and opened it up, so I still got to keep referring back to this manual. They're good enough, and you've got a level on it as well, so you can kind of bring the effect right up to the top, mix it right down to the bottom. You can mix each one as well and blend them all together. So you can have all 3 running at the same time if you want. You can have just 1, just 2, mix and match. And you can also store them. You can store up to 4 banks, so you can store 4 different tones. You can have like a clean sound, an overdriven sound, a lead tone, and something nuts and crazy. And you can patch them all together, patch them into a bank, and then they're controllable with a foot switch. Now, the foot switch didn't come with this, and I don't think it comes with it. I think you have to buy that separately. I think if you're going to start gigging it, then you definitely you would need to invest in the foot switch. I think the whole thing of having these digital amps is to negate taking pedal boards and huge rigs, and that's it. So yeah, this is the 100-watt version. It's a 1x12 speaker, and the speaker is, hang on, Celestion. It's a Celestion speaker. I recorded this using as an emulated output, which I took out of the amp into the interface of my computer, and then just ran it through headphones. And through the headphones, sounded great. Didn't sound digital. Didn't have that kind of like compressed digital. I'm going to call it a Line 6 pod. That sound, that kind of horrible sound. It didn't have that. It had a lot of room. It had a lot of life. It's a lot lighter than carrying around a 100-watt valve amp. Those things are backbreaking. No one wants to do that anymore. And I think we're kind of at the stage where these sort of digital amps are kind of catching up with the valve amps, and they're at a fraction of the cost. And if you compare it to something like the Boss Katana, which, you know, these are the kind of the industry kind of head-to-head amps, this doesn't look like toy practice amp. This looks like a boutique amp. It looks like something you'd want to have on stage. It looks cool. It looked great in the studio. It looks great here in my front room, and it looks great out on stage next to a drum kit. That's what we want. Plug it straight into a PC. There's a USB out on the top of the amp, and you can plug it straight into a laptop. The only thing that it's missing, and which beneficial for both recording and gigging, is a DI out. It doesn't have a DI out, which is really disappointing. I can't imagine that it would be much work to add it. Other than that, I'm just going to leave this with you, and you can just go off and see if you can find one in a store and have a play. It's might change your life. It might change the way you gig. Maybe not change your life, but it might change the way you gig. Or record. That's what we like. Anyway, I'm going to leave this with you, and I will catch you on the next video whenever that may be. I hope it's soon. Cool. See you later. Bye-bye.